The Woman by the Banks of the River Seine. On the banks of the River Seine in Paris, Joseph, a foreign traveler, encountered a girl reading a book. He had traveled extensively, but couldn't remember any girl who had caught his attention like this. He approached and noticed green in her eyes, which, combined with the brown of her hair, stood out so much that Joseph, with the aim of getting to know her, made some remark about the River Seine to the girl, even though he clearly didn't care about the river at all. The girl politely responded, and they began a conversation. A native of Paris, the girl was named Louise and studied her mother tongue at university, also being an enthusiast of French literature. She would often go to the riverbanks that bathed her city every afternoon after work to read something. Joseph was captivated. He wasn't cultured, but loved all kinds of stories, from entire books to summaries. No matter how small the passage he read was, it would make him travel. He didn't understand aesthetics or literary style, but he knew that if a story was good, it would take him on a journey. They walked up an avenue, talking about everything, about their lives through personal stories, or those of others they had heard on trains, in squares, and through the streets of the City of Light. They discovered much in common until they turned onto a street, and a very expensive car pulled up beside them. The back window rolled down, and a man around 60 years old fixed his gaze on Louise. He called out to her, and she approached him. It was her father. She kissed his hands, and he looked at Joseph and asked bluntly what she was doing with him. She said he was a friend. He didn't believe her and ordered her to get into the car. Joseph, feeling embarrassed, still tried to greet him but was ignored. They didn't exchange phone numbers, but Joseph knew he would find her again. Every day she read a book in front of the building where he worked as a janitor. True to his intuition, the next day after his shift, he spotted her once more. He greeted her, and she apologized for her father. Joseph remarked that he was used to such treatment in many places he'd been since leaving Brazil, where even there, the color of his dark skin attracted people like that. Louise fell silent. Joseph changed the subject jokingly. Had she been serious when she said they were just friends? She laughed and, looking him in the eye with a seductive tone, said she didn't know. They kissed, and soon their kisses turned into passionate embraces. As things heated up, she gestured towards her apartment. It was nearby. One night passed, their caresses evolving over this time, and desires turned into reality. Bodies connected, and what began as desire became passion. 1 hour, 2 hours, the entire night. Yet in the end, it all amounted to nothing. The girl did desire the young man, but she desired even more the comfort that her family's wealth could provide. Despite her interest in him, it couldn't surpass the prestige and influence of her family's power. She indicated him to leave the apartment, and what had been a night of pleasure for her would become a poignant memory for the young man. It would take time to erase from his mind the girl on the banks of the River Seine.